Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to the Random Geek, and we're going to be doing something a bit different this time, and we're looking at an actual power inverter. So why am I actually just looking at an actual power inverter? I do a lot of actual camping and off actual traveling, and I normally need actual power, and I normally run it through like a 12-volt actual battery, and I need to charge my devices, run fridges, cooler boxes, like you name it. The thing is, my old inverter actually died. It died a couple of weeks ago, so I had this on order and it's finally come in. So this is the Foval MSW 1000W power inverter. So you pretty much just use it either with solar panels or a 12-volt actual battery. You can also use this as an inverter in your actual vehicle actually. So those guys who are still modifying your cars, adding speakers and actual subwoofers and stuff, so if you're still an actual like your rice boy, this is going to work fantastic as well, because you can actually run the actual lines from the actual battery and it's going to give you that actual power to actually run your actual speakers and whatnot. So we're actually going to go through this. I've actually just sliced it open, but I haven't actually opened the actual device yet. And the reason why I actually got this one is, one thing, it produces a lot of actual power, and another thing is it does multiple actual voltages, both actually input and actually output. So we're actually just going to open up and see what we get. So I've sliced the actual bottom here. If you've seen my previous actual videos, I suck at opening actual boxes, especially with actual knives. I don't like. No one ever actually like leave me with an actual knife. I would probably injure myself rather than anything else. So we're just going to open it up. Okay, so we've got just information about the device. So it's probably just information in the spec sheet about the actual, and I think warranty sheet. So we're going to put that aside. Probably read that later. I'll probably put it up here. So pretty nicely well actually packaged. So we've got actual bubble wrap here, bit of foam insulation for the actual leads, I believe. So we're just open it up. So these things are really actual simple. I got this from I think it's called Canatope Australia. So they specialize in importing actual electronics from actual China mainly. The interesting thing about Chinese actual products these days is because most of them actually are made from the actual same area, and mainly because of the actual supply actual chain that's actually there. Most of the actual components actually are the same components that have been used in big brand actual devices. So in previously, if you got an actual product from actual China, you would have actually got a pretty low quality actual product. Not so much the actual case these actual days, and you know, good Chinese products are actually appearing on the actual market. You've seen it with Xiaomi, you've seen it with Oppo, you've seen it with Huawei with the actual mobile phones. They're leaking into the actual Western market, and we're starting to see some really impressive actual like devices appear on the actual market. So I'm just going to actually pull this up. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. Use the bubble tape. Okay. So, very nice looking actual device. So, maybe my camera just focuses. So, obviously, the Foval power inverter. See how it's got solar smart king inverter. So, you definitely can use this on an actual batteries. So what I normally do when I actually go camping, I've got some spare solar panels. I hook it up to a large 12-volt battery and I run it off actual that. So this is rated at 1000 watts continuous and 2000 watt actual peak. So this is just using a modified actual sine wave inverter. So obviously you're not going to be running anything with an electric motor. I'll let the camera actually focus again. So anything with an electromotive or sensitive actual medical actual like devices. But if you're powering things like, you know, fridges, cooler boxes, laptops, even TVs, it's definitely gonna be fine. The actual fact that it actually peaks at 2000 watts, it's going to give you a lot of headroom to actually use a lot of actual devices and actual equipment. But as I said, the medical devices, anything with sensitive actual actual power requirements and frequency, you're not going to be using this. So things like, you know, CPAP machine, any forms of actual medical pumps, I would stay away from anything. Obviously, if you use things like within and motorized actual motor, things like an actual fan, it's going to make a funny actual whining noise, because modified sine wave, it's a rough approximation of an actual pure I think single phase or triple phase actual power, and you're getting much closer to the actual real thing. The first things first is the impressive thing about this thing is the direct current actual. It says 12 volts. You can actually use this for 12, 24, 36 and 48 volts. This is one of the reasons why I've selected this one here. So it's going to give you like a lot of options depending on how you've actually set it up, your actual batteries, if you set it up in parallel or in series, and depending on which actual batteries you are actually using. So if you're going to be using like recycled actual batteries or actual batteries with a slightly different actual voltage, it's going to be fine. Also, the AC actual output, it ranges from 110 to 230 volts. We use 240 between standard is 240 volts in Australia, but most actual light devices will work at 110 to 240. So perfectly fine there. The only thing is the actual in Australia we use a slightly higher actual amperage. And see how it's got 5 volt DC? That's because it's got USB actual ports. So what have we got? So fan, your positive and actual negative terminals. Be interesting to see how loud that actual fan is as well, but we'll check that out in the full actual review. Very nice solid actual aluminium actually, and it's obviously been put together very well. If you got your standard fully actual screws, you've got holes for actual like smelting actual brackets, so if you're gonna throw that on your RV or your actual camper, or even throw it in your actual car, you can actually throw some actual mounting mounts and actually hide out in your chair or in your actual storage area. So very nicely done actually. Very solid actually aluminium. Great thing about this one, it also comes with a full LCD actual screen, so actually will actually tell you the actual voltage that is coming in, and the actual voltage that's actually the actual output voltage, and the actual like load as well. Also has fault actual sensors actually in there. So obviously on this side here, I might turn on the actual light on the actual camera so you can see. Okay, so what we've got here is obviously I'm in Australia, so I've got the Australian actual model. So this is the standard Australian and New Zealand actual plug on here. So you actually get 2 of those, so that's actually quite impressive here. The only thing that I've noticed that it is missing is 12 volt cigarette actual lighters, because especially with old legacy actual devices, it would be nice to be able to plug those in, but you can also actually buy like adapters for that anyway. So you've got your standard 5 volt outs in this case. I think these are 5 volts, 3.1 actual amps. I'm pretty sure that's split between the two. So I believe one actually only does 5 volts 2.1, so roughly 11 and 12 watts, and the other one is your just standard 5 volts on 1 actual amp. But I will be testing that out with actual like volt actual meters. So if you go on and off switch here, it actually tells you when the actual USB power is actually on. The great thing about these things is even if the actual device is actual off, power is still running through the actual device, so you can actually use the USB actual ports without the inverter actual being on. Obviously there's a fault light, so that's going to be if the actual inverter actually senses that there's an actual fault or an actual overcharge or short circuit, it's going to tell you, and obviously power on. So that's the device itself, and we're going to put that aside. And I'm guessing you've got your standard cigarette lighter, so if you wanted to plug this into your car, that's definitely there. Okay, it's just standard actual cable. Okay, so you've got your alligator clips, so you could be plugging this into your actual batteries. The great thing about that, they give you really decent actual cables, so I'm not sure what gauge actual cables these are. As here, you can see here, so 77 millimeters, and we've got up to 750 volts, so this is a high duty actual cable. Really impressed with that. Actually give you some really extra nice cable. So obviously if you're running that much actual voltage actual through it, that many watts, you're going to need some decent actual cable. So I'm really actually impressed with actual that. Okay, so a bit different from what I normally actually do, but I know people will like go on and actually read about these actual things, and there is an actual news case for it. I'm going to be actually like setting this up and actually running and see how many actual volts, competition, temperature, noise, because these things normally can get a bit noisy. And in terms of actual protection, so you basically got your overload, your voltage, and your thermal actual shut off. So if it gets too hot, the device will actually shut off. There's an actual inbuilt fuse, or hopefully the actual fuses are actually like switchable. So most times in these actual things here, you can actually open them up and actually change their fuses if it actually blows. That's if you're running like a extremely high actual voltage over it. And you've got your standard protection. You've got your overload, your short circuit, and your overheat, and your reverse polarity as well. In terms of actual size, we're looking at so empirical terms, we're looking at 8.74 by 4.4 inches and by 2.28 actual inches in height. In actual metric actual terms, which we use in Australia, you're looking at 22 actual centimeters, so it's roughly like an actual hand span, 11.2 actual centimeters the other way, and 5.8 centimeters. So relatively light, actually small. And in terms of actual weight, it's actually relatively light. So looking at 1.4 kilograms, given the actual fact that most actual batteries that you'll be hooking onto, especially if you're using deep cycle actual batteries, whether they be lead acid or AGM actual batteries, yeah, they're normally extremely actual heavy. Most people go for lithium actual iron actual cells now, because they even if they're more expensive, they do tend to actually last longer. But I'll be running this through its actual paces. I'll be seeing if I can overload this thing and see if it works. But besides from that, pretty cool. Anyway guys, as usual, press the like button, press the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and definitely leave me an actual comment on the actual device, and just tell me what you want to know, any questions that you actually have, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.